Hey everybody! And a warm welcome to a new story. Today's story is called EK Steals My Tablet with Help from Ed and Security. From the Entitled Parents subreddit. I hope you like it and will enjoy the time. If you like my content and this kind of videos, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. As always, this story is told from the OP's point of view. Enjoy it. So this just happened a couple weeks back, but I've been waiting to see how it ended before sharing. My old Kindle, rest in peace you glorious bastard, had just died, so I was borrowing my wife's tablet to get my reading fix. I was just chilling out in the cafeteria with a coffee after working a short notice call in multi-car accident for 4 hours. Because I was shopping when I got the call, I wasn't in uniform. So it's just me in an old t-shirt and jeans trying to grab a minute to myself before my shift proper kicked off. I was pretty into my e-book when I felt a tug on my elbow. I turned around to find a little Indian, Southeast Asian, not Native American, kid looking at the tablet. He's maybe 5 to 6 years old and asks if I have any games on my iPad. It's not an iPad, it's an old Samsung thing. I tell him, no, this is a boring old person tablet, it only has books. While we have our little conversation, I'm looking around for any evidence of parents. Hospitals are big places and kids get lost a lot. He seems disappointed in the game's situation and wanders off, and I think nothing of it. A bit later, the 5-minute warning goes off on my phone to let me know I need to get back upstairs to the lab. I dash off to the coffee machine for that one last refill and foolishly leave the tablet sitting on my jacket on the table. When I come back, the tablet is gone. I do that thing everyone does where I pat all my pockets and look on the floor, but the damn thing is really gone. I grab my jacket up and head to the counter to see if they saw anything, but on the way I see the kid from earlier leaving with his mother and he's got my tablet. I know it's my wife's because the cover is very distinctive with cartoon characters on it, so I know it's hers. I catch up with them and politely ask if I can have the tablet back. The mother kind of smiles at me, but we have a bit of a language barrier. I do the world's worst performance art miming that the tablet is mine. She talks to the kid who is starting to whine and clutches the tablet to his chest. At this point I'm thinking this is gonna be fine, the mother knows what up, I'm gonna get my stuff and all is going to be well. Enter Ed. I didn't see him coming, he must have still been at the counter or in one of the booths. The kid had gone from whining to angry crying pretty quick, and suddenly 5 feet 4 inches of Ed is there jabbing a finger at me and yelling in broken English. "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I tell the guy that his kid has my tablet. In between his outbursts, I just want it back. He doesn't even look at the kid, he's just yelling, "My son is not a thief. You leave. My son is not a thief. You leave." I tell him that I'm happy to leave, just give me back my property and I'm gone. I don't raise my voice, my hands are at my sides and I'm trying to keep things nice, but this guy is getting revved up. He keeps repeating the line about not being a thief and sprinkling in that I'm a racist every once in a while. Somebody must have called security because a security guard walks into the cafeteria and makes a beeline for us. Now it's worth mentioning that the guard and Ed are the same race. Ed starts speaking rapid-fire Hindi to the guard. He stops every once in a while and nods along with whatever he's saying. I can't understand a damn thing, so I just stand there waiting for my turn to speak. I mean, security is here, so how much longer can this go on? So you can imagine my shock when the security guard asks me to step aside, not so we can talk, no, so that Ed and family can leave. What the F? Apparently I was harassing the mother and child. The Ed had stepped in and now I was refusing to let them leave. I tell the security guard as patiently as I can that I was not harassing anybody, I just want my tablet back so I can get back to work. The security guy looks at the kid holding the cartoon character covered tablet and starts talking to Ed again in Hindi. Then he tells me again to move aside so they can leave or else he will be forced to contact the police and restrain me. I'm not sure if it was the security guy's stupidity or Ed's smug face, but something did snap in my brain and I went a bit Karen on the guy. I tell the security guy that I'm happy to comply, but I'm calling his boss and he is going to be liable for my property being stolen. The entitled family shuffle out the exit and I start to dial. The security guy was probably thinking he was about to put me in my place because when you dial security they patch you through to the officer closest to the location, which was him. He already had his phone out ready to give me the "I am the manager" talk. I bypassed the switchboard completely and phoned his boss directly. Working after hours has its perks. The security supervisor is a guy I'm gonna call Dave. Dave is an ex-cop. Dave runs a tight ship and Dave does not tolerate stupidity lightly. I say hi to Dave and get to see the security guy's eyes boggle a little bit. I ask Dave if he's aware that his officers are allowing thieves to leave the hospital while the people they've robbed are detained in the cafeteria. I give him the full rundown of the last 10 minutes with the guard's name sprinkled in there fairly liberally along with a description of the entitled family. The security guy is losing the color from his face. Dave doesn't waste any time. He has the details confirmed by the guy in the camera room and radios the other guards to stop them at the exit. I hang up with Dave, look at the security guy and ask him if he feels like getting me my goddamn tablet back now. He's off like a shot. I call my manager and let them know the efkery I'm dealing with. He laughs and tells me to take my time but keep him updated. Security wind up returning the family to the cafeteria about 5 minutes later minus my tablet. I ask what happened to it and the newly arrived security guys tells me that when confronted Ed took the tablet from EK and threw it on the ground. Dave has the contents in a plastic bag. The thing is mangled, screen smashed, case is warped, just a total write-off. Dave had wisely chosen to call the police at that point. Ed had been fairly uncooperative until the word police was spoken. He was still saying that there was no proof the iPod, it was not a freaking iPod dude, was mine. The guard had brought him back to point out the dozen or so cameras in the cafeteria. He was looking decidedly less smug by the time the cops got there, looked at the remains of the tablet, looked at the footage and issued Ed with a fine and a charge for theft and destruction of property. What could have been a quick teachable moment for a kid turned into almost 3 freaking hours of talking to the cops and getting my case number before I could finally go back to work. Dave filled out an incident report for me, so I still got paid. Dave, you are the MVP. The aftermath. A couple days later I got a call from a lawyer who worked for the family that Ed was visiting. He arranged for my iPad, seriously why does everyone think it's an iPad, to be replaced by sending me a check. It was enough for wifey to buy a top-of-the-line replacement and all the peripheral stuff she wanted, so she's happy. I was asked if I would consider writing a letter about the charges against Ed being a cultural misunderstanding, because it could affect future visa applications. I politely declined as I think being an a-hole transcends culture, so he can live with his actions. Hell, he might even learn something from the experience. The idiot guard wrote a very sincere apology letter and delivered it in person. We shook hands and I consider it resolved. Dave put him on probation, and I figure that this is a learning experience for him. Maybe next time he'll hear both sides of the story and then check the cameras. I got myself another Kindle. I'm hoping that the fact it just is books and doesn't look like an iPad will keep the eds away. Just a quick edit. The guard did apologize for his part in this little fiasco. The ed got in first with his story, which was that the big scary bearded guy was harassing his wife. I don't know the specifics of what I supposedly said, did. The wife backed up the story, throw in the crying kid, and he thought he was doing the right thing. He admitted it was stupid to not check my story or corroborate anything with the cafeteria staff, or to check the cameras. I figure we all make mistakes. Hell, I've made plenty myself. He has to redo some training and will be on probation for 6 months. If he learns from this and doesn't repeat it, I'm happy enough with that. What do you think about this story? Tell me your thought in the comments. If you like the story and the content, please leave a like, subscribe and share this video. Also have a look into my playlist for more entertaining stories.